All right, welcome to the Rokani Media Football. Hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. And this is the channel that brings you your latest news and information as well as things really concerned in here. And opening up the day with Max Dowman video in here that you guys really need to obviously understand that it is really one of the big stories that we need to be looking at. Max Dowman came in through when Arsenal had not yet scored any goal in the game of Everton. The first goal was cut off his cross that was really pinpointing. The goalkeeper missed out on it in the vicinity of Hincapie, and he squared hit in the mouth of the goal that found a well-placed Victor Gyökeres. Second goal, he beat two players and he ran close to, 60 yards? And then he went ahead, obviously put that ball into the back of the net. That is Max Dowman and what went ahead obviously put out. Now, I want to let you know that it was not easy. It was not easy, But coming up and obviously doing that, very many people have gone ahead to speak about Max Dowman. And I think on a daily, I'll be dropping you videos about those that have gone to speak about Max Dowman. But the most important person to speak about this guy is the main man, Mikel Arteta, who obviously spent most of the time with him and obviously took that bold decision to bring him on the field of play. That is it. Arteta came up and obviously said, when he was asked on what he was thinking to bring on Max Dowman, he said, probably in my head, I had a gut feeling. Yesterday, all on Friday, he was training and the last few days, and I had a gut feeling that it was a moment of him, probably because he doesn't seem to be fazed by the occasion, but all the moment, all the context, all the opponent. He just plays so naturally. He makes decisions to make things happen. And what he delivered was really incredible. Obviously, I have to give Arteta a very huge thumbs up for what he really did to obviously guide this guy into the game, because he was having Gabriel Jesus, one of the most experienced players in the Premier League, and no one at Arsenal is going to hit to win more Premier League titles than Gabriel Jesus. I'm talking about the players of Arsenal that are really participating at the club of Arsenal right now. So the manager went ahead to obviously take what we call a bold decision, and he was like, all right, this guy has to obviously come onto the field of play, and he tested it and it went ahead to obviously work out. Now, will he trust his gut again? That was the second question that was asked after he really made this comment. And when asked about such a question, on if he's had to learn to trust his gut, he said, I don't know. I think in the end, the decision that you make has to be delivered. If you feel them and you don't feel it, I think it's not right. You just have to see him train every single day. Honestly, some of the things that he does it against these defenders that are some of the best in the world. So he can do it against anybody else, and the doubt is always that he's 16 and the crowd and the pressure and the expectations, but it doesn't seem to be phasing him very much about that. And he had an incredible moment for all of us. Now, it was an incredible moment for this guy, and he has gone ahead to do what we call the unthought of. I know his skill set is really one of the best, and I know he's really going to take over Bukayo Saka, provided he stays consistent. You get? Even next season, because I've ever seen such things happen. Let me give you an example. At Manchester United, there was one matter who was being played as a right forward for the club of Man United, or a right attack midfielder. Now, this 16, 17-year-old boy, Mason Greenwood, comes up and raises the bar so high. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had to bench one matter for a player known as Mason Greenwood. You understand? So, and one matter understood it that the lad who was really performing, and each and every time he was put on, the lad was performing. And let me tell you, you'll be shocked. if Max Dowman starts an Arsenal game in the Premier League or Champions League, you'll be shocked on what he'll obviously put out on the field of play. And that's how you obviously understand that the lad is levels. The guy is levels. And if you feel like you don't appreciate this, then it's not really, you are just biased and deluded. But this boy, for me, the starting spot, he deserves it because he's 16. And if you are 16 and you are good, then you are good enough to start. You understand? You are good enough to start. So we head to another one, Arteta, on what he said to Max before he went on. Now, everyone wants to hear and know what Arteta told this lad when he was really throwing him on the field of play. He said, "Go and do your thing and win us the game." And the same with Victor Gyökeres and Martinelli. I said these are the moments in the season when something special has to happen. He knows he has the ability, which when I have to give him the opportunity, he will deliver. Now, that means Arteta told him, go and really express yourself to the fullest. You get? That's what Arteta went ahead to obviously tell the lad who goes by the names of so you go ahead and obviously do the needful. You understand? And indeed, he really went ahead to do the needful. He represented and he really did exactly what the manager told him. You know, he had few minutes and he really went ahead to obviously utilize those minutes to the fullest. And no Arsenal fan is doubting the ability of this guy. The question is, can he keep his head low? The problem that such players have gone ahead to face is fame getting on his head, you know. But all I want to know is he disciplined at the stadium? Because for Mason Greenwood, we had had earlier complaints about him being indisciplined. You understand? But right now, as we speak, he's playing in Marseille, and what happened to him, you know it. So I think this should be the case studies that they should obviously show this guy. You get? So we wait and see how that happens. But he told him, go win us the game. And indeed, he went ahead to obviously win Arsenal the game. Arteta, on the composure Max Dowman showed on his goal, said, for me, it felt like 45 seconds. I think it was really special because you could sense that he was building up. And you see, there is no goalie there. It is going to happen. It's going to happen. And everybody was lifting. It was incredible. It was so loud, so energetic. What a moment. Obviously, I've gone ahead to obviously see the video, right? I've gone ahead to capture the video of Max Dowman, right? Doing what he was really doing in there. And I was really... I think I'm going to do that as a short. You know, I saw Piers Morgan post that video on how Arsenal fans really went ahead to obviously go rowdy in there. And they were really so much sent into the sky by the act that Max Dowman went ahead to do. Because the style in which the goal really went ahead to go in, it was really worth that, you know. However much, you obviously saw him run towards an empty net, but what couldn't obviously get out of your mind was obviously how he really skipped past two defenders in there for you. You get? So, this guy is special, as I've always gone ahead to tell you. Very special lad, and he's really one of the players that we have to obviously give a very huge thumbs up to. Then, Arteta on how Max has gained his trust. He said, I think his character, his personality, and the fact that he doesn't seem to be fazed by the pressure or his teammates or the opponents. I've seen a lot of players with talent, but at 16, very few can cope with that level of demand, obviously. And you have to give him his flowers for really looking good in there for you. And that's how Max Dowman went ahead, obviously, Mikel Arteta's trust. Now, we go to another statement that he made, because it looks like the post-press conference was all about this guy. Arteta on whether his Dowman introduction was his best sub ever. He said, I don't know. Obviously, Victor scored the goal as well, so his contribution and the speed of the game every time he got involved in the action was different. That's for sure. I think he created a different energy in the stadium, obviously. But very many he has gone ahead to make. But what is obviously going to make this different, from that of Reece Nelson and very many others, is how he went ahead to obviously... Sorry, what will make this different is Arsenal lifting the trophy, because what made that of Reece Nelson fade out when they're playing, was it Brentford? It was because Arsenal never went ahead to go on and obviously win the trophy. But if they won the trophy, it would have gone to be a very memorable moment. But as it looks like, the cards are pointing at Arsenal lifting the trophy 100%. Then Arteta on if he's had to learn to trust his gut. We've gone ahead to do that. And lastly, this is the most important question. Arteta on whether Max Dowman could start game soon. He said, let's calm down to earth today and enjoy the moment, because it was intense and it was worth it, and we will see tomorrow. So obviously you can't come out and really give guarantee that a player is going to start, and we've obviously gone ahead to see Mikel even telling the senior players that no one has guarantee into the starting 11. If at all he doesn't obviously put out a very huge shift. Now this guy known as Mikel Arteta is really doing wonders, and this time round I think the trophy is here. So guys, go into the comment section and let us know Max Dowman, Arteta's new assassin. What do you make about him, and how Max Dowman has gone ahead to gain Mikel Arteta's trust. Thank you guys for watching through. First video of the demo is yet to come. Arsenal is playing tomorrow, Champions League match preview up next after this video runs on. We out. See you later, and we love you.